June 2014, question 11 to 14. Right, question 11 talks about line symmetry. So line symmetry is when I draw a line down the shape and I can fold the one side of the shape exactly over the other side and it fits perfectly. So for this shape, it's called a hexagon because it's got 6 sides. Okay, because it's an equilateral hexagon, it's going to have 6 lines of symmetry. The first line of symmetry would be straight down the middle. That's a little bit over, but it'd be straight down the middle. The second one, if I go from the midpoint of the bottom corner to the bottom of the middle of the edge there, up to the top, that'd be the second line of symmetry. Similarly, if I go from the top left one, the midpoint of the top left line, to the midpoint of the bottom right line, and that gives me 3 lines of symmetry. But there are 3 others, and the other 3 would be from the corner points now. So the bottom left corner to the top right corner would fold over exactly. The bottom right to the top left, and straight across the middle. And that gives me 6 lines of symmetry. Part B. Part B is rotational symmetry, which is about twisting shapes. So I think a lot of you have done this incorrectly. What you need to do with this shape is, if I was doing this, I draw the axes very quickly. I then trace the shape. So if I'm tracing the shape there, I'm making sure I'm clearly marking 0. So this shape here looks like this. And what I'm going to do now is just put my pen on that cross and turn it around. So when I'm putting my pen on that cross, that shape has got a blank one in the top corner. There's 2 squares going down, so I'm going to shade in them 2 squares. There's 3 squares going straight across after that bottom one. So I'm going to fill in that shape to make it 3 squares. And then the last one is down off the left-hand column there. So it's down there, and that's what that one looks like. I'm now going to move it up around again, and it covers the starting point, the same one. And now I'm going to twist it around into the final one, and it's going to look like that. So it's a blank one. There's 2 up, 3 across, and then 1 up there. So what I'm going to do now is shade in that shape. There's the 3 across, there's the 1 up, and there's the 2. And I'm just going to quickly check I've done that right. Yes. Again, make sure you do it in pencil and ruler, so if you make a mistake, you can rub it out. Right, question 12, 3 divided by 8 as a decimal. There's a number of ways of doing that. Some people would like to find what 3/4 is a decimal, and then because they know 3/8 is half of 3/4, they just divide that as 2. If you know 3/4 is a decimal is 0.75, you can then do half of 0.75. So you divide in 2 into 0.75. And that's one way of doing it. How many 2's in 0? Doesn't go. How many 2's in 7? 3 2's are 6. 1 left over. How many 2's in 15? 7 2's are 14. 1 left over. So I put an extra 0 in. How many 2's in 10? So the answer is 0.375. If you don't know that 3/8 is half of 3/4, the other way of doing it is working out is saying 3 divided by 8. So how many 8's go into 3? And again, I can put a few zeros after it. How many 8's in 3? Doesn't go. Alright, 0.8 is 0, so I have to carry the 3 across, and that becomes 30. How many 8's in 30? 3 8's are 24, 6 left over. How many 8's in 60? 7 8's are 56, 4 left over. How many 8's in 40? 5. So that comes up as exactly the same way. It's just a different method of doing it, depending which method you prefer. Right, question 13. Always read this question carefully. 4 balls numbered 2, 2, 3 and 4 in machine A, and 4 balls numbered 3, 4, 5 and 6 in machine B. In the game, both machines A and B select 1 ball at random. The score for the game is a 2-digit number whose units number is from machine A. So this is the units, and it's the tens digit from machines B. So that's tens. So that means that's 6 tens and 2 units. So 62, 52, 42, 32. So this one is going to be a 60 with a 2 as a unit, a 50 with a 2 as a unit, a 60 and a 3, so that's right. A 50 and a 3, a 40 and a 3, a 60 and a 4, and a 30 and a 4. Right, part B and C now says, a player wins a prize by getting a score of 42 or less. So 42 or less would be, because it's 42 or less, it includes 42. So there's 1, 2, they're all 60, they're all 50 and above. These are 42 and they're above 42, but the 3 on the bottom. So that tells me there's 6 of them have got a chance of winning. Out of how many numbers there are in that box in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 6 out of 16, which I am going to half it to make it slightly easier because 2 goes into both numbers. I'm going to cancel it down, which is 3 over 8. Part 2. 400 people play the game once. Okay, how many would you expect to win? So they are saying 3 out of 8 win. All right, 3 out of 8. And they are saying 400 people win. So you're doing 3/8 of 400. You're finding, and if you remember, when you're doing the fraction, it's divide by the bottom times by the top. So you're saying how many 8s go into 400, and that's why I cancelled it down to make it easier here. How many 8s in 400? So you're asking yourself, 8 goes into 4, it doesn't, so I'm going to put a 0 there and carry the 4. 8 into 40, 5 times. 8 into 0, 0, 0, so it's 50. So the answer, the 400 divided by 8 is 50, and now I've got to multiply by the top. So now I'm doing 50 times 3. 5 3s are 15, add the 0. So the answer to that is 150. Question 14. Right, this is called an isosceles triangle because 2 of the sides of it and 2 of the angles are the same. The angle is pointing down. That means that these 2 angles are the same. So this angle is 53 degrees also. And then to find angles in a triangle, it adds up to 180 degrees. So 53 add 53. 50 add 50 is 100. 3 adds 3 is 6. So that comes to 106. And then you're doing 180, take away 106. 0 take away 6 you can't do, so I'm going to borrow 1. From the 8, it becomes a 7, and that makes it 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. 7 take away 7 is 7, and 1 take away 1. So the answer there is x equals 74 degrees. Okay, so the answer is x is 74 degrees. Right, part B. A quadrilateral, a 4-sided shape, adds up to 360 degrees. So first thing with this question I need to do is find this angle in here. This angle in here makes the 4th angle in the 4-sided shape. Once I got this angle in here, these 2 are on a straight line. And angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So let's add these 3 numbers up here. We've got 112, 67, 78. Don't make the mistake of just trying to do it in your head. 2 add 7 is 9, add 8 is 17, 7 down carry the 1. 1 add 6 is 7, add 7 is 14, add 1 is 15. 5 down carry the 1, 1 add 1 is 2. So these 4 angles in here make 200, these 3 make 257, and now I'm finding this one. To find that one then is 360 take away 257. I'm going to borrow 1, 10 take away 7 is 3, 5 take away 5 is 0. So that makes that angle there 103. And then to find y, because it's on a straight line, is 180 take away 103. I'm going to borrow 1. 10 take away 3 is 7. 7 take away 0 is 7. So y is 77 degrees.